Imagine stepping into your kitchen, grabbing fresh basil, parsley, chives, mint, or even your own homegrown peppers, all from a few old plastic bottles sitting on your windowsill. No backyard, no complicated watering routine, just bottles, a piece of string, and some potting soil. Sounds too simple? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to set this up today. Today, we're doing something I absolutely love, turning everyday trash into something genuinely useful. We're growing herbs in recycled plastic bottles using a self-watering wick system. That means once you set it up, the bottle waters itself. You just refill a small reservoir every few days, and your herbs do the rest. Let's dig into it. Here's the beautiful thing about this project. You probably already have most of what you need at home. Let's go through the list. You'll need 1 plastic bottle per herb, either a standard 16-ounce water bottle or a 2-liter soda bottle. For basil, parsley, chives, and mint, a regular water bottle works great. For peppers, grab a 2-liter. They need a bit more root space. You'll also need a piece of cotton string or a thin strip of cotton cloth about 6 to 8 inches long, a sharp knife or a pair of scissors to cut the bottle. Light, well-draining potting mix. More on that in a moment. Your herb seeds or seedlings. And a marker to label your bottles, because trust me, after a week, they all start to look the same. That's it. No special tools, no expensive equipment. Let's get cutting. Rinse your bottle out and remove the label. Now cut it roughly in half, but make the top section, the part with the neck and cap, roughly 10% to 20% shorter than the bottom. The top will hold your soil. The bottom becomes your water reservoir. Take the bottle cap and poke a small hole through the center, just big enough to thread your cotton string through. Push the string through so about 4 to 6 inches, hang below the cap. That dangling piece is your wick, the magic ingredient in this whole system. Screw the cap back on. Now flip the top section upside down so the neck points downward and set it inside the bottom half of the bottle. The wick should hang down into the empty space below. That's your self-watering planter, built in under 5 minutes. Here's the science behind why this works. It's called capillary action. As the soil dries out, it creates a slight tension that literally pulls water upward through the cotton string from the reservoir below. Your herbs drink exactly what they need, exactly when they need it. No overwatering, no underwatering. Nature does the math. Now, soil. This is where a lot of beginners make their first mistake. Do not use dirt from your backyard. Garden soil is too dense and heavy for a small container. It will compact around the wick and block water from moving upward. What you want is a light, airy potting mix. You'll find it at any Home Depot, Lowe's, or local garden center. Look for bags labeled potting mix or seed starting mix. These are specially formulated to stay loose and drain well while still holding moisture. Want to level it up? Add a small handful of perlite, those little white particles you see in premium potting mixes. You can grab a small bag at any garden center for just a few bucks. Perlite improves airflow around the roots and keeps the soil from clumping. For mint, which loves moisture, you can mix in a little coconut coir. For basil and peppers, which prefer to dry out slightly between drinks, go with a slightly sandier blend. Small adjustments, big difference. Fill the top section of your bottle with potting mix, leaving about 3/4 of an inch of space at the top so water doesn't splash over the edge. If you're starting from seeds, press 2 to 3 seeds into the center of the soil at the depth shown on the seed packet, usually around 1/4 to 1/2 inch deep. Cover lightly with soil. If you're using seedlings from a nursery or your local grocery store, you'll skip weeks of waiting. Just make a small hole in the soil, place the root ball gently inside, and firm the mix around it. Now here's an interesting fact about one of our stars. Basil belongs to the mint family. Yes, really? There are over 100 different species of basil around the world, and its fragrance has actually been shown in studies to reduce stress and anxiety. Ancient Egyptians even used it as a preservative in mummification. Pretty wild for something you throw on a margarita pizza. Okay, back to planting. 1 herb per bottle, always. Different herbs have different water needs, and crowding them together leads to competition for nutrients. Each herb gets its own bottle, its own wick, its own reservoir. Treat them like individuals. Give your newly planted herb 1 initial watering from the top. This settles the roots and activates the wick for the first time. After this, no more watering from above. Gently lift out the top section, then pour enough water into the bottom reservoir for the wick to reach it. Make sure you don't fill it all the way to the top. You want the roots to reach toward the moisture, not sit in it. Then place the top section back in. From here on, just check the reservoir every 3 to 5 days and refill when it runs low. Rinse it out every couple of weeks to prevent algae buildup. That's your entire watering routine. Where you put your bottles matters just as much as how you build them. All 5 herbs need at least 4 to 6 hours of direct sunlight per day. A south-facing windowsill is ideal. A sunny porch, patio, or deck works brilliantly from spring through fall. Basil is a tropical plant. It loves heat and hates cold. Keep it in temperatures above 65 degrees Fahrenheit and far away from drafts or air conditioning vents. Here's a fun fact. Basil starts to turn black almost immediately when temperatures drop below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It's basically a diva, but a delicious one. Parsley is more forgiving. It handles partial shade well, making it a great pick for east-facing windows that only get morning sun. And here's something that surprises most people. Parsley contains more vitamin C per ounce than oranges, yet most of us use it as a garnish and throw half of it away. Chives are genuinely tough. They're perennial, meaning the same plant grows back year after year, and they can even survive a light frost. Their purple flowers are fully edible and look stunning on salads. Put chives in a slightly cooler spot and they'll be perfectly happy. Mint actually tolerates partial shade, which makes it versatile for darker indoor spots. And here's a fact that explains why we're growing it in a bottle. In open ground, mint spreads through underground runners so aggressively it will take over your entire yard. The bottle contains it perfectly. The ancient Greeks, by the way, rubbed fresh mint on their banquet tables as a sign of hospitality. Thousands of years of history, right on your windowsill. Peppers need the most sun of the group. Put them in your brightest, warmest spot, a south-facing window or right out on the porch in summer. And here's something that blows people's minds. Peppers are technically fruits, not vegetables. They grow from flowers and contain seeds. That's the botanical definition of a fruit. And that famous heat in chili peppers? It doesn't come from the seeds, it comes from the white pith surrounding them. Bell peppers have none of that compound called capsaicin at all. Your herbs are growing. Now, how do you harvest them without killing the plant? Here's the golden rule. The more you pick, the more they grow. Regular harvesting encourages the plant to branch out and produce more leaves. Basil. Pinch off the top leaves just above a leaf node. That's where 2 leaves meet the stem. This forces the plant to split into 2 new branches. And the most important thing, never let basil flower. Once it goes to flower, the leaves turn bitter and production drops sharply. Pinch off any flower buds the moment you see them. Parsley. Always cut from the outer stems, at the base, leaving the inner growth intact. The new leaves always grow from the center outward, so protect the center and harvest the edges. Chives. Grab your scissors and snip them like grass. Cut about an inch above the soil level. They'll regrow within a week. It's almost impossible to overharvest chives. Mint. Harvest the top third of each stem. It grows so fast you'll struggle to keep up with it. Use the extra to make fresh mint tea or throw it in a mojito. Fresh mint from your own windowsill bottle garden is genuinely one of life's small luxuries. Peppers. Wait until they've reached their full size and color. red, yellow, or green, depending on your variety. The longer you leave a pepper on the plant, the sweeter it becomes. Harvest regularly to encourage more fruit production. Before I let you go, let me save you some trouble. Here are the 5 mistakes I see most often. First, using backyard dirt instead of potting mix. It will compact, clog the wick, and suffocate your roots. Don't do it. Second, overfilling the reservoir. The roots should never sit in standing water. Only the wick should touch the water. Third, putting basil near an AC vent or a cold window. Below 60 degrees Fahrenheit, basil simply shuts down. It's not forgiving. Fourth, not harvesting regularly enough. If you leave your herbs unpicked for too long, they go to seed, lose flavor, and start to die back. Harvest often. Eat fresh. Fifth, planting multiple herbs in one bottle. It feels efficient. It isn't. Different water needs, different root depths. Keep them separate. And that is everything you need to grow 5 incredible herbs in recycled plastic bottles, with a self-watering system that practically runs itself. And honestly, there's something deeply satisfying about snipping fresh herbs you grew yourself onto your food. And if you want more practical systems like this, subscribe to Heritage Harvest. See you in the next one.